my shop. There we go. That's more like it. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Waiting for YouTube to catch up. Looks like we're live. So hi everyone. Welcome back to the design studio where on Thursdays I'm gonna just kind of take it in a totally different craft manner. So today I'm gonna teach you how to make ribbon angels. They look, every time I put this on, I can never get it off. They're ribbon angels that look like this. So there's the up close. So you can put these on your tree as ornaments. You could use them as gift tags. You can also use these as a perfect thank you gift for your clients when shipping out their orders during the holidays. So I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's a great way to repurpose. I'm trying to think. Less than 2 feet of ribbon. And I know if you're like me, you probably have a lot of those ribbon rolls that have like less than things away. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping items. If you want to save this tutorial and you're on YouTube, just click save. If you were on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, you're going to want to click the share button. It does a quick copy paste from my page to your page. Just make sure you download the video within 30 days, otherwise it won't be there. To turn notifications on, if you're on YouTube and want to get notified when I go live, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, it's a two-step process. You have to make sure you've liked the business page, Kats Creations, and then you are also turning your live notifications on by clicking the follow button, which is actually under the 3 little dots. Click on that. It'll give you some options for how do you want to receive those notifications for live tutorials. If you guys can do me a favor and like, comment, emojis throughout this tutorial, it really helps expand the reach. So this is what we're going to make today. Let me just verify by refreshing my pages so that I can see your comments. Where are we at here? Okay, click on that tab. All right, YouTube, why are you being so finicky? YouTube just doesn't want to show me my stuff. Let me go ahead and try going all the way out, clicking on my channel, clicking here. Okay, what are you doing? Let's take this off and we'll try going at it a different way. Huh, that is interesting why I'm getting it pulled up in this manner. Let me just double check Facebook. Facebook. Okay, we are live on all the things. Let me enable chat. Where am I? Back in here, enable chat cat. So hi Elizabeth, hi Cynthia from Manassas, Virginia. Never heard of that before, but I love Virginia. Hi Sue, welcome. I'm gonna turn my heater down because I had to heat up the shop. It is almost a nice, good, balmy 65, 70 in here, which is always super good. Okay, hang on a second. Let me try this in YouTube and see if I can get it to pull up. I just don't know why it's not giving me my content. There it is. Okay. And now I can turn this on. All right, we are good. All right, I'm going to pivot you down. We're going to go over all the materials, and then I'm going to show you how super simple this is. I am actually creating these to go as a thank you in the gift purchases or the things that people purchase between now and probably the end of the year. So it's kind of fun to make them for all different kinds of themes. You can also list these and sell these in your Etsy shop, but I was like, for those of you that are doing craft fairs, this is a really great item to have on your craft room table. Kind of like I have my little Norfolk pine Christmas tree right here. You can kind of put them there and allow customers to pick. You could also make them live while customers are waiting, and they can pick out their ribbons that they would like. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Oop, that just kind of slid for a second. I think that's good. So, things you need to have on hand. Floral wire. I'm using 26 gauge floral wire. You will need pipe cleaners. And I'm using some metallics because it looks really pretty. So, 26 gauge floral wire, pipe cleaner, silicone mat if you're using ribbon that is transparent. It's like sheer, because when you go to apply glue, it wants to seep through all the layers. So the silicone mini mats are really good for that. I'm also using a silicone spatula, which you should be able to get at the Dollar Tree. It is a makeup silicone applicator. So it just helps you to distribute the glue while it's drying so that you don't burn yourselves. You will need wire cutters, needle nose pliers, scissors. I'm using a mini glue gun because it gives me a lot more control over how much glue goes in. I also have my big glue gun for, hey, I just need to get this going. And then whatever 2.5 inch ribbon you want, we're going to start with some pretty holiday ribbon. So 2.5 inch ribbon here, and then you're going to need something that kind of can be the bow. So it can be something like 5/8 ribbon, 7/8 ribbon. I wouldn't go any bigger than that. What ribbon am I using? I had it over here. You can get these at like the Dollar Tree, and this is 3/8 inch ribbon. Most of the time you find them unwired. You can also go with, let's see, who's this? I think this was Walmart. Walmart also has a version of the ribbon. It's still not wired. We're going to be doing a dog paw print one. Again, not wired. No problem, but Hobby Lobby does have it in 5/8 and it is wired, so you can pick those up from Hobby Lobby. So a couple options for you for purchasing your supplies. And then you're going to need a small ornament head. So they just look like these little plastic shatterproof ornaments. These are about 1 inch in diameter. That's going to be the head of your ornament, and if you can get them with the tassels tied, it just makes the process so much easier. In addition to that, because you know that I'm going to take it to a totally new level, we're going to be using some of this beaded, I guess you would use it on a mini Christmas tree. I got this from Hobby Lobby in the My Little Christmas section, so where they have the miniature. This would be like the garland that you put on mini trees. So this is going to be for our halo. And then if you want the option to go with a jingle bell, you could pick these up at Hobby Lobby. You can probably find these at Walmart, Michael's. And then I am going to be adding a little snowflake because we're doing snowflake ribbon. So these I got at Hobby Lobby. They're two-sided. One side is kind of like an iridescent, and the other side is clear. They are in their seasonal craft section. Just something fun to put in there besides just the bell. So let me show you how we're going to put this together. Do you guys have any questions before I start that I can answer for you? Let me double check. Hi, Georgiana. Hi, Cheryl. Let's see. Hi, Pam. Welcome. Hi for Mom's Wreath. Okay, so we are going to start. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to need 2 pieces of ribbon. You're going to need one at 8 inches. So here we go. We're cutting this at 8 inches, and this is going to be for the skirt. And then we're going to cut another one at 14 inches. And this is going to be for the wings. Okay, just straight cuts. Sometimes if you use the sheer ribbon, it's a little easier to pleat. So that's an option you have. I know I just pulled. Me and pins, man, they just disappear. I know I just pulled that pin out. I'll find it. Find it when I'm cleaning up. Okay. So, like I said, perfect craft for leftovers. First thing you're going to do is we are going to make the skirt, which is just simple. We're going to go top to bottom right here. I'm going to grab my glue mat just because I don't want to put any glue on my cutting mat. I'll use the bigger glue gun. You're going to lay a bead right here on the edge, and we are just gluing these edges together, just like that. You can take your silicone glue, spatula, and I am just making sure my ends mesh. Okay, if you have glue that's kind of seeped out, you can go ahead and remove that. So that is a skirt, and then what you're going to do is you're going to pleat it. So I'm going to pleat this. Oops. My pleating lately has not been a good pleat. I'm going to go ahead and take a small piece of 26 gauge wire. I have a little piece that I have left over. So I am just going to take and twist just to close and keep that pleat going. Sometimes you can use your needle nose to get it really close to that end. We'll remove the leftover piece. Okay, just like that. There is our little skirt for our angel. I'm going to, do I need this? Yes, I will. I was like, wait, I had that piece there for a reason. What did I need that piece for? Okay, we'll cut another one off. And then we're going to do the wings the same way, but I am going to glue my wings so that they're even right in the center. So I just want to connect the two ends, but I don't want them to glue to the bottom piece. Thin piece of glue. We'll make those match. Again, spread your glue. And then that keeps the bottom from seeping through and gluing the bottom. You don't want them to glue together, okay? And I have my glue, both on my glue guns, down to the lowest setting. But right now, I want to make sure, where is middle? So now I'm dealing with 6 inches of ribbon from the 10 to the 16, exactly 6 inches. So I'm going to go right at the 13, okay? I'm going to gather these two together, just like so. And then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to use my pipe cleaner to cinch those together. Okay, double check and make sure I've got equal parts. Sometimes it always is like, I always get like one side slightly off. Okay, then with that, go ahead and wrap your ribbon a couple extra times. It just gives it a nice finished look. Okay, I'm going to bring this up, twist those ends, remove the end. So now we have officially created her angel wings, just like that. Okay, there's the wings. here's the body. You're starting to see how it's all coming together. I'm actually going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit more. Know this, that when you are on YouTube, you can actually pinch on the tutorial, and you can. I don't know that you can do it on the live, but if you're watching this on replay, you can pinch and do that on your own, so that way you're not missing anything if I happen to go too wide. Okay, from here, I'm looking for the side that I had my cut edge. So I am taking a dab of glue. We are gluing this to the center, just like that. We're going to hold the wings to the skirt. So as you can see, we're making the angel's body just like that. It actually goes pretty quick. I think I can make these, if I'm not teaching how to make them, in about 15 minutes. If there's any overhang, like if you moved this higher than it needs to be, you can go ahead and trim any of your excess ribbon, because you want it to be flush, because that's where the ball of your ornament is going to go. Now, when you're placing your ball, make sure that you don't have your crease. I know it seems like logical, it's obvious, but you want to make sure, because this side is the front. This nice finished side with the pipe cleaner is going to be the back. So we're going to hide all the cosmetics. So now we are going to add a drop of glue, and then I'm going to glue my head on. Just like so, making sure that the edges of my ball are to the side. Hi, Alicia. Oh yeah, you can pinch on the live. Okay, that's super cute. Because I didn't know. I know I can do it when I'm watching a replay, and some people didn't even know that you can do that. They're like, well, why won't you zoom in? And I'm like, well, because maybe you want a, I don't know, broader look. So there is that. Now we're going to make her bow. So it's hard working with miniatures, but you can do it. Make sure you have your wire cut, prepped, ready to go. And you're going to dovetail the end. And it's really hard when you don't have wired ribbon. So I don't. So sharp scissors, handy. Dovetail your end. This is kind of nice because it's reverse. It's gray with white snowflakes, whereas this is white with silver snowflakes. You're going to kind of portion out what you think the tail length should be. Pinch in. You're going to make one small little loop. Pinch. These are like from working on the angel tree toppers. It's the same theory. We're going to make another little loop on the other side. Twist. Bring your tail down. Just kind of eyeball it. I always make sure it's a little longer. So I'm holding all my pieces together. I'm going to drop the wire in between the two. I'm going to make sure that my loops are even. And sometimes it's really hard to get that twist. So this is where your needle nose pliers come into play. So you can twist them down really close to the edge of the wire. Yay. A little bit more. Okay, then cut off the excess. You've got this little tip, and I like to take my needle nose pliers and kind of smash it so that it stays on the back side. And then go ahead and get all your ribbon organized. So I should have like 3.5 snowflakes. So right about here is where I need to finish off my ribbon. Okay, cut. Okay, we're going to make that slight adjustment. going to use, I want my smaller glue gun. It never likes to sit in the right place though. Okay, we're going to glue our bow right on the top. Again, we're kind of hiding all the cosmetics. Make sure your tails are down. Okay. And I'm going to look and see, will that snowflake work or will it be too transparent? There you go. I think it'll work. So if I did it on the iridescent side, I would lose it. So I'm going to do it the all white side. Again, I like the mini glue guns because it gives me greater control over how much glue goes on. And I'm going to place that so that the little V in the snowflake is kind of like under her chin. So far she's almost done. Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of our beaded garland, and I need just a touch over 2 inches. So I'm going to go like 2 3/4. Okay, you want to keep your hanger out of the way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place a bead of glue all the way around just underneath the hanger. So I'm going to go halfway. I'm going to drop this right on top so I can apply that right to the end. Flip this over. There we go. It actually helps, Kat, if you move the handle. Okay. Going around. I like them to end in the back. So the key thing is just don't glue. And I know it's starting to kind of pull off because gravity. And I'm going to cut the last ball off because it's just a touch too big. Just like so. And then remove any loose glue threads. Okay, just like so. And now you have your perfect little ribbon angel, just like this. So she's all ready. Like I said, what an awesome little gift tag to add to your gifts, you know, as you're giving your gifts this year. Or like I said, you can sell these. They average on Etsy for anywhere from $7.99 to $10 even. There are people who sell them in groups of 5 for $25. We're going to make a couple more. We're going to do a candy cane angel, and then we're going to do one for pet lovers. So if you've missed this, you guys get to do a really quick replay. So we are going to put, we're still using this. We're still going to do a bow, but we're going to do, let's do the dog one really quick. I'm going to make sure I have a fresh cut. We're doing 2, remember we're doing one at 8 inches and then the other at 14. So I thought this would be super cute to give to dog groomer, vet, dog lovers in general, someone who just lost their dog. That would be a super cute way to keep their memory close. So remember, we are going to glue top to bottom right in here. So just like this, the 8-inch piece becomes the skirt. And I'm going to take my little silicone and make sure that I can adhere both sides. We're going to get a little piece of wire. So that we can do our little pleat on this one. So let's go ahead and pleat the edges. Okay. Right here at the top. I'm trying to keep it as close to the top as possible because you don't really want to have a top edge. I'll remove that off. Fold the little end down. Okay, this is their skirt. Making sure the paw prints are straight up and down. I'm going to trim this up because it's got a little fray. Okay, now we're going to make the wings. We are going to place our silicone pad in the center so that our glue does not get glued to the bottom layer. So right alongside, bring your edges together. Again, if you need to, and you can even use silicone fingertips if you need to. Okay, just like that. We're good to go there. We are going to make sure that I am going to do this right in the center. I always have difficult time trying to get that centered for some reason. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why I do. Let me grab a white pipe cleaner. And we're going to do the same thing. Just make sure our pleat is in the center. I'm going to make sure before I go ahead and twist. Looks like we're making mini hair bows. Aw, that is so sweet, Linda. She says, I think I'll do about 20 for our community Bible study. That would be super sweet. You can, absolutely. What a great idea. See? That would be a perfect little gift. Like I said, we have the leftover ribbon, ladies. We can definitely put it to good use. So now we're taking, remember the back side? We're going to be gluing our skirt to the top. So big dollop. We're gluing this to the top. This would be great. Smash it. Make it nice and tight. Just till the glue attaches the skirt to the bottom. And we're good. Okay. We won't worry about fluffing yet. Let's put a head on this one. See, technically I could go black if I wanted, but I think black looks a little too kind of scary. I have white, but I'm saving white. I'm saving the white for our candy cane. Let me see. I have a matte finish gray. Let's see. Do I like that one better? No. Let's do that one. Okay. Yeah, black is just a little too... I don't know. I just don't see black. I guess we could. What do you guys think? Should we do black or should we do silver? Which do you think? Definitely the silver halo will show up better on the black than on the silver. Color-wise goes. We could also do shiny black, which looks like this. So shiny black, matte black, or shiny silver? What do you think? I would definitely love to do the white, but I only have one white that I have been able to find. I didn't like go crazy through my stash. A lot of people use black. Okay. But should we go shiny black or matte black? Shiny black or matte black? That is the question. And I wish I had a little dog bone. Same thing, Linda. Shiny black or matte black? And then I'm going to have to add my own, I have to twist my own. Shiny black. You could put dots for eyes. Technically, if you're really artistic, you can make a little dog muzzle, like a little puppy nose. Okay, so I have to add my own hanger here. So, whoop. I guess I should have done this first. Matte black would look good. Ooh, I'm trying to get, I like them when they come pre-done. And I just pulled that one completely out. I'm not a fan of tying. Like working in miniature, like you want to give them the greatest. Let's just do it the easy way, Kat. Wow, it's like putting a knot at the end of it will probably be the most challenging part of the whole design. There we go. Okay, nice and tight. And then of course, I wasn't thinking that one through. I was not thinking that one through. I actually needed to go through and then tie them. Okay, I'm good now. Now that I kind of figured it out, just in case, because sometimes when you buy your like little mini 1-inch bulbs, they don't come with the ornament hangers on them. They just kind of throw all the pieces in there for you to add your own. Because I think they think some people are just going to add the regular hanger. But I mean, we need this. Oh, Lord. Minis. Okay, we've got it. That isn't good at tying things on a very small scale. There's that one. Okay, we'll go shiny. We'll get all the glitter off of it, though. You need a child with small hands. No kidding, right? So you guys are telling me matte black. I'll do one of each. I'll do, not like through the live, but I'll do one of each, so that if the customer has a preference, they can request matte or shiny. So again, make sure you're putting your seams on seam side down or seam sides to the side. That is so true. You guys know me though. I don't generally put faces on, because if they don't like the face, then they were to be like, no, I don't like the face on that. Okay, now we have to make mini bow. This one is actually a 7/8. So this is what I was saying. 7/8 is about the largest I would go. It's going to feel big, but it's the smallest dog print ribbon I have. So I want to make sure that we have some paws going down. Again, small loop, twist, little loop, twist. I always like to double check and make sure that, you know, I've got equal amounts of ribbon. I got this ribbon from Michaels. So let's see, do I have enough in here? I should. I'm trying to use like the little leftover pieces I cut off of my wire. And I want to make sure I'm doing it on the back. Hiding all the cosmetic pieces. I almost had to use needle nose to grab the wire through. Okay, remove, smash our wire. I need to flip this side over, but before I do, I want to try to fluff my ribbon. Just like that. We will dovetail one side. This side's a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and just shorten that. There we go. Okay, same thing. We're going to add her bow right to the center. And go ahead and glue her bow on. Just like so. And then we're just going to glue a little bell on. So I'm going to do a little silver bell right to the center. So we're kind of hiding all the cosmetic stuff. Just like so. And then we'll go ahead and do her halo. So remember, we do just a touch over 2 inches. I go actually 2 balls, 2 of the little ball spacers. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Beaded glue around the top. I'm going to throw that halfway through because that'll show really nice. Flip this over. Kind of looking at where the overlap's going to be. It looks like I'm going to take out 2 on this one. So I have 1 and then 2. So we'll bring the rest of that around. It's going to be a 1/3. There we go. And now we'll remove all her glue threads and fluff her up. So there's this one for your dog pet lovers. So that one's all ready. And then we'll do one last one. We'll do the candy cane one. So this one's done with sheer ribbon. So we're going to see how this looks. So this is, again, Costco ribbon. The dog paw print ribbon I got was from Shinoda, but you can get dog paw print 2.5 inch ribbon from Craft Outlet. So remember, 8 inches. And 14 inches. That's why I said it's exactly like 22 inches. So if you have less than 2 feet of ribbon, this is the perfect way to utilize and use that up. Okay, we will move this over. And let's go ahead and glue the skirt. Top to bottom. Go ahead and pull that glue so that it goes all the way through both sides. And like I said, because we have so much choice as far as ribbons go, I mean, wow, we can really make these for any type. I mean, you could do this for 4th of July. You could do it for fall. You could do it for Halloween. You could do it for springtime. The options are pretty much endless. So again, and I'll put the link to the mini silicone glue glue pads. You get 4 of them in like, think 4 different colors, like red, blue, green, and red, blue, green, and yellow. And then overlap. And I do this because, especially doing that sheer ribbon, it's basically just coming right through. If I was to take my finger and put that on there, I would have a pretty good hot burn. But see how this just prevents you from gluing the 2 sides together. Again, lining this up so I can make sure. I want to grab a red pipe cleaner first. Let's go. Do we want to go red sparkly? Do I have red sparkly? Yes, I do. Let's go red sparkles. So, right up the center, small gather, put our pipe cleaner here. And just nice, tight, secure. Make sure you're happy where you've got your pieces. And then from here, we're going to wrap. Remember, we wrap around. And then the other side. Let's see, I went to the back. Let's go to the front on this one. And then here, we're going to twist these together. Remove the excess. Push that down. Nice little cute hair bow. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and squish this together. Let me get, I have a perfect piece right there, leftovers. Okay, we're gonna pinch together. And then I'm going to wrap. Wrap that around. Remove the excess. We'll flatten that little piece down so we don't get stabbed. I'm going to trim some of this up. There we go. This is now going to the back. Where are we at? Like, where is my back? Oh, I did it on the top. That's why it's not showing. Okay, here we go. Put a dab of glue there. We're going to press top to bottom. Grab our silicone press and press it flat. Throwing all the excess stuff away. Like I said, it's nice when your ornaments. Linda, the ribbon for the wing is 14 inches and the skirt is 8. Same thing, Nissy. 8 inches for the skirt, 14 for the 14 for the wings. Okay. We now need to make the bow. So we're going to use that Walmart ribbon. I think I got this last year from Walmart. I just thought it was cute. Okay. We will dovetail the end. That's a sloppy dovetail. There we go. I'm still going to double check. It moved. piece of wire for securing my ribbon together. We're gonna go up, and I'm leaving about 2 inches for the tail, because I know you guys will be like, well, how long is her tail? It could be however long you want it to be. I'm doing 2 inches, and then the bow, just like enough for you to twist it, like to physically put a loop in it. Same thing on the back side, enough to where you can make a loop, twist, and then I'll bring that down. And then we shall, I like to do the same thing like our pipe cleaner, just drop it through the middle, making sure my loops are the same size before I tighten them. It's always like, because I've done that a couple times when I've done my angel tree toppers, and I'm like, oh, I didn't have one side too small. Time to rework that. Take that off, pinch it flat, and then I need to bring this back to the front, and then tails are even, so all I have to do, and this ribbon's actually fairly nice, it's really thick, which is good. So we will let's actually glue her head on. So she's getting the white one, so I remembered what I did the last time in putting my hanger on. I need to pull it through, and I don't want to do red for this one. I actually want to do white. So going through, and these little mini balls, you can get them from Joann's. Used to sell them every year. Target has them. So like in their Wonder Shop, you can get them. Who else? That was still Joann's. Maybe Hobby Lobby as well. So these are the 1-inch little balls. You can probably go 1.5. You'd be okay. It's just trying to pull that, making sure you got those braided cords through there. Okay, we're all good. We're gonna glue her. We're gonna glue her head on. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove that glue that I have right here, so that we have a good solid place to place our head. Just like, trying to make sure we've got seams on the side. So give it some time, glue her head on. Then all we have to do is put on her bow, add her embellishment, and then give her a halo, and she'll be all set. I'm just trying to get her glue to set up. I can tell because, you can tell when your glue is pretty much set up if you're using a clear or a cloudy glue stick. If it is clear while it is drying, then it is still hot. The minute that it turns cloudy, you're good to go. Okay. Dopey fold, she's got equalness on both sides. I just have to fluff the other one because she's all stuck back there. Okay, gluing the bow on. Here we go. Gluing on our bow. You can also use a skewer stick if you need just that pinpoint, whereas like the skewer might be too big, or the silicone. Wood skewers at Dollar Tree are like my best friend. Okay, we're going to give her a cute little embellishment. Let me find it. I'm trying to find where I put her embellishments at. Okay, Kat, where did you put them? Are they in the bottom of this bag? Sometimes I stick them. Yes, it is. It's at the very bottom of the bell bag. So I'm actually gonna, these are like little mini ornaments. Again, you can get them at Hobby Lobby in the miniature section. We're gonna go ahead and use the detail on the smaller to give her a super cute little candy cane. I was hoping that if I had two, I think I was lucky to find one. Yeah, I just have the one. So she's just the single candy cane girl. We're going to go ahead and add in her ribbon or her halo, which I have in the red. So 2 plus 2. And again, Hobby Lobby for the little mini garland in the miniature section. So let's go ahead and glue her halo on. Starting at the top, right in the center. Is her part. And then I'm looking at how are these going to overlay. One off of here. And one off the other side. Okay. So I'm just looking at like how far do they have an actual overlap. And then we will smush together. Trying not to keep my finger in the glue. Just like that. And here is that angel. So we did the dog, we did the silver, and we did the silver, the dog paw print, and then we have done the little candy cane. So I'm going to pivot you guys up. Okay, so, and it shows reconnecting. So like I said, we can take these, we can hang these on the Christmas tree, just like so. Here's our little paw print angel. I'm going to put her back a little bit further because my Norfolk tree doesn't, it's very thin. And then we'll add our peppermint angel. We'll go ahead and put her on there. This will be fun. I think the goal is let's make enough handmade things that'll actually fill our tree. And then here is our silver angel. And that's our snowflake. So we did snowflake, candy cane, and paw print. And then these were the two that I did earlier, which is the, whatchamacallit, the striped angel. She's actually backwards. That is her right here. And I actually had just enough ribbon to complete her. I didn't have enough to make a second. And then I did another sheer angel. And this one has the blue with the snowflake for like a winter angel. And her ribbon says peace, joy, and love. So I'm going to take them off of the mini tree. And we'll add these to our bigger tree. So we'll add this one. I'm going to space these out so that we can come in and keep adding to our homemade tree throughout the season. I'm going to put this one down over here. Trying to get them all. I think these would probably hang on these branches better if I used ornament hangers instead of trying to feed them in on my little tree. And these branches are not very strong. They're pretty weak. Okay, can we get you to go on there and stay? There you go. So, what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you today? Mini tree is perfect. Like I said, you can use these at the craft fair and then put your angels on for display, and you can let people pick, like maybe sell like one for $7.99. You could do like a bundle deal where they can get a deal the more they buy, like a deeper discount, but something simple like that. You could even make them to be the angel tree topper on top of the mini tree. So, what other questions do you guys have? And the size of her wings are 14 inches and her skirt is 8. So if you guys are in the private group, you guys will have all the instructions, and I'll give you all the item numbers and all the SKU stuff for all the supplies we just used tonight. Cool. Okay. Awesome. I love it. All right. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will talk to you